What if you walked outside tomorrow and found a spider 2 full meters long waiting for you? Not a movie, not a dream. Real life? Your street, your city, right now. How fast could it move? Could it break through walls? Would its web stop a moving car? Every single one of those questions gets answered today, and none of the answers are comforting. First, let's understand what we are actually dealing with. The largest spider alive today is already the size of a dinner plate. Now multiply that by 30, 200 kilograms. 8 legs each, over 2 meters long. Fangs, the size of railroad spikes. 8 eyes covering nearly 360 degrees. This animal was built to end things. Let's start with the legs, because they destroy your sense of safety before anything else does. At 2 meters long, a spider crosses an entire city block in seconds. Silently, without warning. No sound, no footsteps, loud enough to alert you in time. Just 8 legs in perfect coordination. By the time you hear something, it is already close enough to end the conversation permanently. Now the web, and this is where the scenario becomes truly apocalyptic. Normal spider silk is already stronger than steel by weight. Scale the spider up, scale the silk up. Each thread would be thick enough to see from a distance and strong enough to stop a moving car. One spider could web an entire city intersection in under an hour, and it comes back every single night. Now the venom, because this question changes everything about survival. The most venomous spider alive kills a human in 15 minutes at current size. At 2 meters long, venom volume per bite increases by thousands of times. One bite doesn't just affect one person, it affects everyone within the immediate area, instantly. The fangs punch through steel doors and concrete walls without meaningful resistance. A 2-meter spider doesn't need an open door. It makes its own, every single time. 8 eyes, the size of dinner plates, detect movement, light, and vibration simultaneously. They feel your footsteps through solid concrete from 50 meters away. You are always already seen. Here comes the first twist. Spiders are not naturally aggressive toward humans at current size. But at 2 meters long, humans fit perfectly in the prey range that triggers their hunting instinct. Their strategy wouldn't change. Just the scale. Ambush from above. Web from a distance. Inject venom. Wait. Return when movement stops. Cities become hunting grounds immediately, and spiders have the home advantage. They already mapped every dark corner, every shadow, every gap in every building. Long before us, skyscrapers become vertical webs within days. Highways become feeding zones overnight. A 2-meter spider on the side of a 30-story building isn't climbing it. It owns it. Public transportation collapses. Airports are webbed within the first week. Global movement stops. Not from war, not from a virus, from an animal with no political agenda. Military response is immediate, but fundamentally unprepared for what it actually faces. Conventional weapons work on 2-meter spiders. Getting close enough to use them is the real problem. This predator moves faster than a soldier can aim in open terrain. It builds traps, detects vibration, and attacks from angles that make traditional combat useless. Now, here comes the twist nobody sees coming. 2-meter spider silk has extraordinary value, the strongest natural material ever produced. Strong enough to build bridges that last centuries. Body armor woven from it stops anything short of military artillery. The nation that figures out how to harvest it first rewrites global power overnight. So the impossible question emerges at the center of this entire scenario. Do you fight 2-meter spiders, or do you figure out how to farm them? History says humans always find a way to use what they cannot destroy. We domesticated wolves. We farm crocodiles. We extract venom from snakes. The pattern is there. Now let's look at the ecosystem, because the damage goes far beyond cities. At 2 meters long, spiders have no natural predators left on land. Not a single one. They become apex predators of every terrestrial environment on Earth simultaneously. Deer, cattle, horses, all fit perfectly in a 2-meter spider's hunting range. Now agriculture collapses. Livestock disappears. The food chain doesn't bend under this pressure. It snaps. Here comes the most unexpected twist, and it changes absolutely everything. 2-meter spiders would reduce the global insect population to near zero within a few years. Spiders already consume more insects than any other predator class on Earth. At current size, at 2 meters long, every insect species faces a predator with absolutely no counter. None exists. And insects are the foundation of every ecosystem on this planet. Remove them, everything collapses. The cascade reaches every living thing within years, including every human still surviving at that point. So 2-meter spiders don't just threaten humans directly, they erase the system keeping us alive. Not through planning, not through malice. Just by being exactly what they are at the wrong size. Here is the philosophical twist buried at the bottom of all of this. Right now, normal spiders are one of the primary reasons humans can live on this planet at all. They consume disease-carrying insects by the trillions every year without being asked. The animal that saves us at small size destroys us at large size. Same creature, same instincts, same biology, just a change in scale, and everything inverts. That is the real idea, hidden inside this wild what-if question. Scale changes everything. The same thing at a different size produces completely opposite results. Now here is the question that determines everything about your survival in this scenario. You wake up, a 2-meter spider outside your window. No weapons. What is your first move? Don't go up. Spiders own every vertical surface better than you ever will. Don't run in the open. You already know how fast those 8 legs move across flat ground. Water is your best friend. Spiders avoid deep water. It disrupts their silk production completely. Coastal cities, islands, boats, the new geography of human survival rewrites itself around water. Human architecture transforms completely within the first year of the size change. No more ground floor living. Every structure rebuilt around one single priority: keep them out. Walls get taller, windows disappear. Rooftops become the new ground level for human activity. Cities don't disappear. They move upward, away from territory that belongs to 2-meter spiders. Now a new boundary forms. Not on a map, not in a treaty, just at a specific height above the ground. Below that height, spiders. Above it, what remains of human civilization holding itself together. And somehow, because humans are extraordinarily stubborn, some version of civilization survives. Smaller, more vertical, more paranoid, but alive. Still asking questions. Still looking for edges. The silk farms would come eventually. Dangerous, catastrophic, and completely inevitable. Because humans look at the most terrifying thing alive and still ask, how do I make this useful? That instinct, the refusal to accept any threat as purely a threat, is the most human thing there is. It is also the reason we are still here after everything else nature has already thrown at us. 2-meter spiders would be the greatest crisis in human history, without any question. They would also produce innovations and levels of global cooperation we have never achieved before. The countries that survived would emerge completely transformed, technologically and philosophically. Shaped by a challenge so immediate that there was no time left for anything except pure adaptation. The forests would be quieter. The skies emptier without insects filling every layer of them. But the humans left standing would be tougher and more connected than any generation before them. All because a spider got bigger. All because scale changed everything it touched. The world breaks, and in the breaking, something entirely new is forced to grow from what remains. There are no happy endings in this scenario, but there are survivors. And survivors always have the same thing in common. They adapted before they were ready. The 2-meter spider world selects for exactly one trait above every other: the willingness to change completely, immediately, and without waiting for permission from anyone. Sound familiar? Because that demand to adapt or disappear is not unique to a what-if scenario. It is already happening, at a different scale. Right now, every generation faces its version of the 2-meter spider. The question is never whether the threat arrives. The question is always, who adapts first? The spiders in this scenario didn't choose to be dangerous. They didn't plan any of this. They just grew. And the world had to decide what to do with something it was never prepared for. We are not so different from that world. New things grow all the time. And the gap between crisis and opportunity is almost always just a question of how fast you move. So, what is your survival plan on day 1 of a 2-meter spider world? Drop it in the comments right now. The most creative answer gets featured in our next video. If this wrecked your comfort about the spiders already living in your house right now, perfect. Like, subscribe, and stay close, because on this channel, the impossible gets more real every week.